In some Kenyan villages, people feared the sound of footsteps after midnight. Not thieves, not wild animals, but something stranger. Men who ran barefoot through the darkness, appearing suddenly beneath moonlight before disappearing again into the night. Some claimed they carried human remains. Others believed they possessed supernatural powers. And according to old whispers, if a night runner stopped outside your home, you never opened the door. Long before modern cities covered much of Kenya with highways and electric lights, many villages became silent after dark. Once the sun disappeared beyond the hills, people hurried indoors. Doors were locked. Fires burned quietly inside homes. And outside, darkness swallowed the narrow village paths. It was during these late hours that stories about the night runners spread across communities. According to folklore, they were men who moved through villages at impossible speeds during the night. Barefoot, half-naked, sometimes covered in strange oils or ashes. Villagers claimed they appeared suddenly beneath moonlight before vanishing again into darkness. Some believed they were ordinary humans practicing secret rituals. Others believed something far more terrifying followed them through the night. Fear of the night runners became deeply rooted in many communities, especially in western parts of Kenya, where the stories were most commonly whispered. Parents warned children never to wander outside after dark, and during certain nights, even adults avoided lonely roads beneath the moonlight. According to old stories, night runners did more than simply run through villages. Some reportedly stood silently outside homes. Others allegedly threw stones onto rooftops late at night. Sometimes livestock disappeared mysteriously after sightings. And perhaps most disturbing of all, many villagers claimed the night runners seemed to enjoy spreading fear itself. Nobody fully understood why they appeared, or what they truly wanted, which only made the legends more terrifying. Over generations, countless stories emerged from people who claimed to encounter night runners directly. Some described hearing rapid footsteps racing across rooftops in the middle of the night. Others claimed they saw shadowy figures sprinting unnaturally fast between trees and narrow paths. In certain villages, people allegedly discovered strange objects left outside homes before sunrise. Feathers, bones, unfamiliar markings in the dirt. Whether these stories were true, exaggerated, or created through fear, nobody could say for certain. But one thing remained consistent. The fear felt real, especially during silent nights when dogs barked suddenly into darkness, and distant footsteps echoed somewhere beyond the trees. As Kenya modernized, many people began viewing the night runner, stories as folklore shaped by fear and superstition. Some believed the night runners were simply groups of individuals involved in secret, nighttime rituals. Others think the stories grew larger over time through rumor and imagination. Psychologists might argue that fear itself can transform ordinary events into terrifying experiences. A shadow becomes a figure, a sound becomes a warning, and once an entire community begins believing something, the stories gain power of their own. Yet, despite modernization, night runner stories still survive in many parts of Kenya today, passed down quietly through conversations, family warnings, and village memories. Perhaps what truly made the night runner legends terrifying was not the runners themselves, but the atmosphere surrounding them. Rural nights in old villages were deeply dark. No streetlights, no phones, no glowing city skylines, only moonlight, wind moving through trees, distant insects, barking dogs, and silence heavy enough to make every unfamiliar sound feel dangerous. In that kind of darkness, imagination becomes powerful, fear becomes alive, and sometimes, legends begin feeling real. Even today, nobody fully agrees on what the night runners truly were. Supernatural beings, ritual practitioners, ordinary people hidden beneath fear and folklore, or simply stories created to explain the unknown. But perhaps the reason these legends continue surviving is because every culture carries shadows within its history. Stories whispered beside fires. Stories passed from parents to children. Stories that continue breathing quietly through generations, and somewhere in the silence of certain Kenyan nights, some people still claim they hear footsteps running through the darkness.